Now at 636-1350.
George Adair here. This is The Loan Show, joined by Tim Carroll, Bay Equity Home Loans in Rohnert Park, who brought in with him Darrin Jenkins, just the city manager of Rohnert Park. What a great guest to have today. Thanks again for coming in, Darrin.
Sure.
Hey, when we left the last segment, I was talking about what is Rohnert Park doing to attract business, smaller businesses, to encourage increased growth in the community?
Right. So we take a number of different approaches. We really try to be business friendly. When applications come in, we think about we need to find a home for this business somewhere in Rohnert Park. We meet with also construction groups like the Construction Coalition, talk to them about here's our fee program, here's how we can streamline it, reduce fees, get better with our efficient city operations so that we're recovering the least amount possible to run our operation but get businesses open quickly. The other thing we do is we do get applications through very fast. So we turn things around in 10 days, whereas other agencies have a goal of 30 days.
Wow.
So we really get your business open faster.
So you're talking about like sign approvals and permits and various...
Exactly. Anything that needs city approval for a business to open.
That's
precisely.
great. Yeah, we actually got ours approved pretty quick for our sign.
Very
Rohnert
quickly,
Park.
one day.
Yeah. That's
so,
great.
Hey, Darrin, let me ask you, just to tie into what you just said, I was talking to a developer, and he was commiserating about some of the cities where he does his primary business, that it was the exact opposite of that the fees were constantly increasing and the barriers to perform his business was constantly just weighing him down and making him rethink why he even does what he does for a living. Has Rohnert Park, philosophically really made an effort to change that type of...
Yeah, I want to point out your example's not in Rohnert Park, and
correct,
and we do. It really has to do with our approach and the style that we have in our city, and we want to find homes for businesses in Rohnert Park and get them open quickly, and it's just how we deal with them and how we process their applications.
Excellent.
You got to make it a priority.
If I could ask a question, Darrin, I've been in Sonoma County a long time, and perception of Rohnert Park was all more of a suburban community, not a lot of business. When did the shift happen in the city to decide to become more of like a Healdsburg or Windsor?
Well, we're not quite to Hillsburg or Windsor now, but we're definitely on the rise. And one of the things we're working on, it's come up in the last few years, and the opportunity is there with the State Farm property, is to develop a place in Rohnert Park. We had the kind of people say it's a nice place to live, but you wouldn't want to visit. Well, we want to get people to visit Rohnert Park. We're in the heart of Sonoma County, the heart of wine country, and we want to develop a place in Rohnert Park.
Now, when we were talking last week, you had mentioned, I had asked the question specifically, is there a vision, is there a plan? And you said, well, it's evolving. And you had mentioned a group, you had called them who were they? The Citizens Advisory Committee.
That's right. So we are working on planning Central Rohnert Park right now, and we do have opportunities for members of the public to get involved and be part of a Citizen Advisory Committee for our priority development area is what it's called, and that's not something we named it. That's what our regional government names it.
You guys, basically what you're saying is let's develop a community atmosphere that's fun, right?
Yep, exactly.
It's not just about where we live; it's what we do and where in the place that we live, right?
Come play in our park, Rohnert Park.
I like that. And Tim, we I think are creating an opportunity for a lot of first-time home buyers, but also move-up buyers with the new building that's going on.
Yes. I had the opportunity to meet with one of Darrin's coworkers, Marilyn Ponton, at the city, and Marilyn spent about an hour and a half with me, really giving me an overview of the new communities that were being built in Rohnert Park. And not only is it a great first-time homebuyer opportunity, but some of these homes, from what I can tell, are going to be extremely beautiful. And the communities and the neighborhoods are going to be a neighborhood I would live in. So, there's a lot of folks that purchased their homes 10, 20, 30 years ago. They may be looking to upgrade into a newer, more modern home with a really well-thought-out community and neighborhood. So Rohnert Park, I think, is optimal for the first-time home buyer as well as the move-up buyer.
It's also good for the investors. You've got Sonoma State. You've got a lot of folks coming in to work at the casinos. Maybe they're temporary, and they're looking for short-term housing. So buying an investment property is also something that's really important. And rents are doing really good there.
Yeah, they really are. And we've heard stories about even some Sonoma State students staying in hotels because the rental market is so hot. I would say, too, that the new homes, they're going to be the most efficient home you can buy. They're going to be the greenest home you can buy. They're going to be water water efficient, energy efficient, and they're going to be more comfortable than homes built 20 to 30 years ago.
That's great. That's reducing cost of ownership, especially if you're talking about moving up into a more expensive house, is really important. But then you've also got the existing community, the E section and the M sections, which are really nice. I mean, those are great, mature communities with great families, and school districts are actually pretty good too, right? Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. And my kids go to school in Rohnert Park, and we love it. They have great schools. They've had distinguished schools, and surprising to me to find out, we have actually one of the top 10 rated high schools in California. Wow. In Rohnert Park. It's at Sonoma State University, and it's called Technology High School, and it's really exciting. My son just applied for that, and we're hoping they get in. And it's an amenity that most people don't know we have in Rohnert Park.
Is that a charter school, or is it just?
No, it's run by the Rohnert Park School District.
Wow.
But since you mentioned charter school, we also have a unique school, a charter school, high school for Waldorf learning. That's called Credo High School in Rohnert Park as well.
Okay, well, that's great. Well, I think it's time for us to wrap up with Darrin. I'm sure he's got a city to run, and so to speak.
Yeah, Darrin, thanks so much for coming up today.
Yeah, thank you both very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Darrin Jenkins, City Manager of Rohnert Park. Folks, we talk about these communities that you want to live in and invest in. Well, a big part of that is of course, getting approved to buy the house with a home loan. We work at Bay Equity Home Loans. We do this show as a service to the community. But if you want to get pre-approved to see if you qualify to buy one of these homes that's going to be built in the future, or one of the existing homes that's on the market in Rohnert Park or any other area, call Bay Equity Home Loans. We're at 999-2727. Again, that's 999-2727. Tim Carroll runs that office. He's going to make sure you're in good hands. Hey, stick around. We're going to come back with Ken Schreier. He's with RE/MAX Full Spectrum. He's going to give us the inside scoop on our new listing. It's going to be an interesting conversation. I'm George Adair. This is The Loan Show. Stick around.
To find out more about Bay Equity Home Loans, call George Adair at 707-583-8100. That's 707-583-8100. 1350 KSRO, Sonoma County Station for breaking news and compelling talk. Now talks the issues with the Dennis Miller Show at its new time, weekdays 1 to 3.
Hey, Sonoma County. This is George Adair with Bay Equity Home Loans. It's 2014 and the Great Recession has passed. Now may be the time to finally consolidate credit cards, get rid of mortgage insurance, or refinance into a fixed mortgage. Hey, don't just take my word for it.
We had gone to a couple local big-name banks who had promised the moon, but at the end of the day, for whatever reason, didn't seem to be able to deliver, for reasons we could never understand. I had heard an ad on the news for Bay Equity, and those folks just understood the program, and our loan just funded. I would just encourage anybody that has a home to consider this as a way to go.
Bay Equity will work with you to estimate the value of your home and customize the right mortgage program. Call 707-583-8100. That's 583-8100, or visit bayequityloans.com. With offices in Santa Rosa, Rohnert Park, and Petaluma, Bay Equity is your home for loans.
Equal housing lender, subject to credit approval, NMLS ID 76988. The transaction will be made pursuant to California Finance Lender Law and or California Residential Mortgage Lending Act under the Department of Business Oversight.
For you, golf is not just a pastime, it's an obsession. Add to that breathtaking ocean views, lush green hills, and delectable wine country cuisine, and you've found heaven at the Blue Water Bistro and the links at Bodega Harbor.
Spend this St. Patrick's Day on the green. The greens at the links at Bodega Harbor. The Irish eyes will be smiling on ya as the links present Pick Your Own Green Fees this Sunday, March 16th. Don't you be worried about this costing you all your coin. You'll reach into the lucky pot of gold to save up to 50% on the already low $45 green fee. Blue Water Bistro will also be serving their delicious traditional corned beef and cabbage for lunch. So book your St. Patty's Day play today by calling 859-COAST.
The Blue Water Bistro and the links at Bodega Harbor in Bodega Bay, where the wine country meets the Pacific.
1350 KSRO. Breaking news, compelling talk for Sonoma County. Depend on it.
It's The Loan Show on KSRO with George Adair. Call in with your questions now at 636-1350.
Hey, thanks for joining us today, this Wednesday at 12:30. We do it every other Wednesday as well. The Loan Show, I'm George Adair. We had a great first couple segments, joined by the city manager and, of course, Tim Carroll, talking a lot about Rohnert Park today. That was our theme. And
Rohnert Park all the way, baby.
Yeah, oh gosh. Do you have a flag you like drive around and like stick out of your window that says Rohnert Park?
I do, actually.
That's great. You're really rooting for Rohnert Park. Well, we have another guy who roots for Rohnert Park on the phone. He's Ken Schreier. He's with Remax Full Spectrum. Hey, Ken, how you doing?
Hey, George. How are you, sir?
Hey, good. So, we had Ken on the show just a couple weeks ago, and he enjoyed himself so much that I got to get back on the show. I got this other listing I want to talk about. Hey,
exactly.
How's business out there, Ken, in Rohnert Park? Is it heating up out there yet, or are we still waiting?
It's still nonstop. I mean, the properly priced listing is on the market 8 days and multiple offers, and it's gone.
Wow. So that means we're going to see continued home appreciation, right? I mean, that's a demand.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I do a trends every month with MLS, with the multiple listing service, and if you look at February of last year versus February of this year, the average home in Rohnert Park is actually up an average of $65,000 per home.
Whoa, that's a big increase.
Yeah, over a 12-month period.
Yeah, that's a big increase because overall, the national numbers are supposed to start to slow down, but we've got communities throughout, especially California and other high-demand states, where we're going to continue to see growth, aren't we?
Without a doubt. I mean, and as you guys were mentioning in the earlier part of the show, with the green music scandal, with the attraction of the casino, it's all demand and not enough supply.
Right. So let's talk about a little bit of that supply. You've got a new listing on the market. You want to tell us about that?
I do. I've got 1140 Holly Avenue. That's a new listing that just came on the market yesterday.
Okay.
Price for $439 is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, so it's over an H section, so it's in the golf course side. So it's one of 3 homes on the north side that are left in Rohnert Park.
Wow. Yeah, and here's the thing about it, folks. We bring these to you on the air so that you could call an agent like Ken and go see the property and get sort of the inside scoop on that property. Maybe get your offer in a timely manner, because 8 days on average is not very much time to get into a property, consider it, get pre-approved, and make an offer. Is it, Ken?
Not at all. In fact, we're going to have an open house on Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4, and Hunt Conrad from Bay Equity is going to be there on Sunday with me.
Hunt's going to be there?
Yeah.
You sure you don't want me to get somebody else?
We looked high and low, sometimes. And the homeless guy that I had set up originally canceled on me.
Hey, Hunt, I hope you're listening.
Yeah, he's actually sitting here right here and looking at me, giving me the evil eye, but he's going to be here ready and willing to pre-approve all qualified buyers on the spot.
Hey, Ken, I heard he had some really nice new slick flyers that he was bringing to that open house.
He brought them, but they're all in crayon, so we have to have him remake them. So I told him that we can't do them on cocktail napkins. They'll fade in the sunlight. So he's going to have to redo those for me.
Those cocktail napkins probably would look better than the first version he showed me, but that's all right. We'll stop bragging on Hunt. The key is you've got to get pre-approved, right, Ken? I mean, no one's going to look at an offer without being pre-approved first.
Well, it's not. That's exactly it, and you don't know what the comfortable shopping range is until you've had a chance to talk to a lender and make sure that we're looking at the right price range.
I ran some numbers here. Actually, Hunt ran some numbers and let me borrow them. If you were to put down for an FHA loan just 3.5%, well, actually, it'd be a little bit more than 3.5%, but to get you to that $417,000 loan, your total payment would be about $3,100 a month, all in. But that's not much more than it would cost to rent a house, especially when you consider the tax breaks, right?
Well, not only that, but when you look at the fact that you're paying as a renter, you're paying for someone else's retirement. Right. Rents go up, over time, and the mortgage payment is fixed for 30 years, so you're not going to go up on a payment. And at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about someone else's investment.
Right.
The vacancy factor in Rohnert Park is down to 6%.
Wow!
And it's probably won't go any higher than that for a while with SSU and everybody else trying to get into Rohnert Park because of all the new employment they have.
Well, it's good info. Ken Schreier, how do people get a hold of you?
707-529-4819, or they can visit the new website for this house at 1140holly.com, and we'll be there this weekend.
All right, great. Again, call Ken Schreier at 707. I'm sorry, I didn't write the number down. 707-529-4819,
and that's Remax Pros in Rohnert Park.
Excellent. Ken, thank you so much. Again, thank you to
guys.
Darrin Jenkins and Tim Carroll. We got a wrap. We'll talk to you next Wednesday at 12:30. This was The Loan Show. See ya.